MAGA rioter that we have to talk about here, arrested one day after his J6 case was dismissed. He gets the dismissal, Trump's president, and now he's arrested again. Tell you what's going on. Throughout the week, we've discussed the J6 offenders who were either released or who had their cases dismissed. Now, one man, Daniel Bull, is already back behind bars. I got that little, maybe he's surprised at it too. Maybe he's not, I don't know. Politico's Kyle Cheney reports on BlueSky that Bull was arrested on Wednesday for pending federal gun charges, which Cheney notes is the first arrest initiated by the Trump-led Washington field office. Roll Story filling in the details for us. Bull has previous felony convictions for domestic battery, resisting law enforcement with violence, had been accused of a dozen charges related to the storming of the Capitol, including assaulting police officers with a deadly weapon and using fire or an explosive to commit a felony. Victor Nava with the New York Post has more of these scary details. According to the warrant issued for his arrest, Bull is a two-time convicted felon with prior convictions for domestic violence battery by strangulation and resisting law enforcement with violence. Bull was arrested in May of 2023, charged with multiple felony offenses of assaulting, resisting, or impeding certain officers with a deadly or dangerous weapon, using fire or an explosive to commit any felony, obstruction of law enforcement during a civil disorder, entering or remaining on restricted grounds without lawful authority to do so while carrying or using a deadly or dangerous weapon, knowingly engaging in any act of physical violence while carrying or using a deadly or dangerous weapon, disorderly or disruptive conduct in a restricted building or grounds while carrying or using a deadly or dangerous weapon, and misdemeanor offenses, disorderly conduct in a Capitol building, acts of physical violence in the Capitol grounds or buildings, and stealing government property. I don't know how to dissect this one. Did Trump let him go only to pick him back up again? A. B. Did Trump not even review the cases and they just did a sweeping pardon after lying to us, saying that they were going to do something else? By the way, this is a dangerous criminal, whether he was pardoned for J6 or not and was let off before the case was fully adjudicated. Domestic violence, strangulation. Wow. What say you, Yas?
Yeah, like this one feels better. I don't know if that's the right word, but at least he was arrested and will get his due process, something that was denied the other guy. Anything else that happens to him after this is his own doing. Who knows? Maybe Trump will pardon him a second time because Trump really needs his militiamen out there to defend him against like the woke mob or whatever. But I guess this is what happens when you pardon people who are found guilty of committing not just crimes, but violent crimes. This is what happens not just when you pardon them, but when you excuse their behavior and paint them as patriots and good people. These are not good people, especially not this guy. He was not a good person. He had a previous record of not being a good person, and Trump just let him back out on the street. So much for our justice system. Thank you, Donald Trump, and thank you to everyone who voted for him. That now we have to deal with all of this.
Yeah, and thank you. It translated kind of like when we say, well, bless her heart in the South is what she meant, is that kind
It's
of
not
thank
a genuine thank you.
Okay.
No thanks.
Right. No thank you.
No
Look
thank you.
what you've caused, chaos. And some of this behavior is just threatening, of course, as intended,
Mhm.
and unworkable